Hey everybody, HMV here, Landmark Kerbal Space Program, and we have taken a couple contracts here to position satellites. We also took a contract to test the Airstream Protective Shell, 1.25 meters, splashdown at Kerbin. We're going to do 3 of these contracts, and we took this one specifically because I ran out of science while I was getting things, and I don't have access to the air shell, the Airstream Protective Shell, whatever you want to call it. And I want access to it, so I took the contract. So we are going to launch a ship called the Boron 1. The Boron 1 is special. It's a satellite. It's gonna be able to do all 3 of those contracts, and it's going to unavailable experimental parts. Oh, I haven't purchased those, the ability to do those yet. I need the Science Junior and the Communicatron in order to... Yeah, I tested this and then reverted. So let's see, purchase this and the Communicatron 16, I think we have as well, which I can't purchase. I don't know what it's telling me. This is pushed down, but I can't purchase it. I may have found a bug in the pre-release because I know I have. I mean, like, it's unlocked, right? It's part of the starter tech nodes. Let's try to load our Boron 1. Oh, now it's available. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's go ahead and launch it. Oh, the too hot thermometer is also on the list. There we go. Let's go ahead and unlock that. That must have been just a visual bug that had nothing to do with things actually unlocking. Okay, save it and launch it. Now, I did time warp until morning, but this is not when we're going to launch. The first orbit, this is by far going to be the hardest orbit to get. And actually, it's going this way. It is a tundra orbit, which the idea is you want it to spend a lot of time over the North Pole. So you send it way out here. This is I don't care about this, but the people who wanted the contract, who don't know I'm going to then repurpose the satellite for something else, they want coverage over the North Pole for a significant period of time. Once they get that coverage over the North Pole for, let's say, 1 orbit, if I bother doing that, they're happy, and then I can use the probe for something else. But if you do put a satellite into an orbit like this, what benefits it is it's up here for a really long time, and then it swings around and then comes right back up and it's here for a really long time again. So it spends like 90% of its orbit in the Northern Hemisphere, and then you can do whatever you want to do in the Northern Hemisphere and yada, yada, yada. But for us, all it means is we got to put it in this orbit. Now, the next orbit we're going to hit is this moon orbit here. So we're going to, from this guy, we're going to get to the moon. Which is going to be expensive, but we can do it. And then from the moon, it'll be pretty easy to hit this geosynchronous orbit here. And then we're going to leave the satellite in the geosynchronous orbit, even though it's not all that useful. It does have a relay antenna, which I don't think is ever going to get used. But I figured if I'm going to leave an antenna, a probe out there, it might as well have an antenna. So anyway, in order to launch into this orbit, we need to set this up in map mode, so that the orbit is set up this way. And then we're going to hit F5 to quick save. And then we're going to time warp a bit to bring our launch pad around to about there. And now we're going to want to launch northwest. Now, I have already set this guy up, so he's going northwest. So all we got to do is, I don't remember actually if I need to control this guy at the beginning. So it's been a while since I've made this guy. So in 3, 2, 1, launch. Now I've rotated him so he's still going like to the right, so we don't have to worry about like thinking about it this way. And in fact, I want to rotate it this way so he matches what we normally see when we orbit. Also, I guess I can bring this contract up. Not that it really matters like that much. Geosynchronous tundra orbit. There we go. And notice we have all the checks except for we haven't reached the orbit. And the solids are going. Oh, the solids have gone. Hey, I just wasted some launch fuel. I didn't realize that they were done going because I was watching the solid booster on this guy going, and it tricked me. It trickster. I feel like I should have the thing on now. Okay. Now, we want our apoapsis. Yeah, our apoapsis is way too low, and... come on. Don't fall over. Okay, there we go. Okay, our apoapsis is 20 now, so we're actually good now. Okay. Everything's fine. We're all fine here, things. And we're basically just going to get this guy into an orbit, then down here at the periapsis we're going to burn up, fairly standard stuff. Now that we've gotten through the dangerous part of the launch phase, I don't see any reason to keep you here, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and it was actually a moment. I'm actually fixing my. I should switch it to orbit mode. I'm fixing my angle as we burn up here because it's cheaper to do it right now than it will be to do it when we're at orbital velocity. So I'm just kind of cheating upwards, watching my negatives get closer and closer as I'm also burning up to the things. So this will make it so that when I do the eventual like matching of the orbit, it's going to be a lot cheaper than it would have been otherwise. I think I can burn perfectly at the horizon here. -2 is looking pretty good. 1 degree is going to be very cheap to fix. 2 degrees won't be that bad either. There we go. There's 1 degree. I think I'm going to just match it right to the right to here right now. And I can just keep burning until we run out of fuel. And you know what? I'm going to actually hold on to this here. We're doing fine as far as electric charge is concerned. I'm going to wait until we don't have flames going. And then we'll pop open the shell and show you the ship. Okay. Let's get up to 60 kilometers before we pop open the airstream here. Okay. There she is. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauteous baby. She's got solar panels. She's got Oscar tanks. Let's go ahead and hit X and then do this. She's also got the stack separator because that's a lower tech tree item than the decoupler, which is weird. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or what the reasoning is behind that. But there you go. And I've already extended this antenna. It's not de-extended, it's actually extended. So let's see, reaction wheels, toggle torque. Yeah, I guess, yeah, my torque is just poor. It's not off. Okay, and we are in space now, so let's go ahead and we might as well wait till we're at our apoapsis now, I suppose, to not just circularize, but touch this orbit. I forgot to, can I do this here? I don't remember. Settings, nav ball size, flight UI elements, there we go. Nav ball scale, let's make it a little bit bigger. We like it bigger. And all the way to the left. That's what we like. Let's accept. I can't believe I made it through, was this the 5th episode, without doing that. I mean, 1 degree off, we might not even need to fix it. But here we go, 161.8 meters per second. And obviously the estimated burn is not going to be 22 minutes. It's probably going to be closer to 30 seconds or so, but I think at 1 minute I will hit the gas and just see what we got here. Yeah, 28 seconds. Okay, so let's go down to 15 and then get this guy going. And this is the Boron craft, the Boron class of vehicle, for 2 reasons. 1, it was the next element in the periodic table, and 2, I think satellite missions are, while lucrative, kind of boron. Oh, I'm so clever. No, I'm not clever at all. There we go. Maybe a little bit too much, but I'm not going to complain that much. And then right at this periapsis, we should be able to burn it all the way up here and nail this contract. And see, we are off by a bit, and we could fix it right here. This is the descending node. Tell you what, then. Let's fix it right here. Here's how you do these. You match these up. Actually, it's these two. You match these up. And then we know right here at our orbit, that's where we need to add the maneuver. And it's a descending node, so we need to burn north. Is that right? No. That's south, because we're going backwards. That's right. So we need to burn north, quote unquote, to do that. And I don't care about the amount. All I care about is the direction. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to aim in this direction. And then when we get to that point, which is in 2 minutes and 19 seconds, I'm going to burn to change that. So let's go ahead and get down there. I'm going to hit F5 30 seconds out, just to be sure. And now I'm going to delete this node because we don't actually care about it. And then I'm just going to do that. We're at 1 degree. Let's get it down to 0 degrees here. Are we making it worse? No, we're making it better. There we go. There's 0 degrees. And we're going to leave it at that. I burned a little bit longer because it hit 0 degrees. Then we want it to get more than 0. So now let's put this one back out there. This is the important burn. The biggest burn probably of the mission so far, at least with this engine. 772 meters per second, 2-minute burn. This is going to be kind of a pain, but there's not much you can do about it. Okay, it says it's 2 minutes and 11 seconds. I'm going to go down to 1 minute because our thrust to weight is going to go up near the end, and I don't have better burn time installed. I don't have any mods installed at the moment, so I'm kind of eyeballing these. That's the joy of using the stock version of the game, though, right? I wish this reach designated tundra orbit around Kerbin with minimal deviation had a checkbox for descending node and periapsis and apoapsis and then the other one, the longitude of your descending node or whatever it is that determines the orbit, so that you could verify each one of those things independently and know, it's like am I gonna get it when I get my apoapsis up here, or is my descending node still off, or is my periapsis still a little bit too high or too low or whatever. But what are you gonna do? Another thing about this ship, the fuel flow priorities, I actually had a problem with it, and it's not necessarily a problem, just something I didn't expect in the new version. Much like how Jeb was ragdolling on the surface of Moon during the challenge I just did. The fuel flow priority in this center tank is 0. The fuel flow priority of these tanks is 1. If I were to reverse those numbers, even though these fuel lines push inward, fuel would refuse to flow from these guys to here. It would only flow the other way, which is kind of crazy. Okay, we got to be close. Yeah, let's go ahead. We are not at the designated orbit. Yeah, we're very close to the designated orbit, but we don't quite have it. So we are within 0 degrees. Yeah, see, all these numbers don't help. I want a checklist. We're at 0 degrees. We've pretty much nailed the apoapsis. And we've pretty much nailed the periapsis, although we could probably do with a slight burn at periapsis. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, our apoapsis, 5622, and it's 5613 is what... Oh, they want that. So let's go ahead and burn. We'll burn up a little bit more. Might as well get the apoapsis a closer. 5622 is what I'm looking for. Did that do it? No. Okay. So now we're going to go here. Also note, we still have nice solid connection to Kerbin. I don't know if the actual probe core would have this connection. I don't, like I said, that antenna, I don't ever expect to use it as a relay. But I would like to kind of have it there as a test of the relay system, just to see what it's like. We are 7 minutes from apoapsis, so I'm going to wait till we get right to it. We got plenty of time way up here to fiddle around with our orbit. Okay, and we want to burn prograde probably. Yeah, we're at 98. We want it to be... Come on, show me both. It's alternating between them. Cute. Okay, we can do that. Fine, I'll leave my mouse cursor here. That is hilarious. There's no way to uncheck one of them and check the other one, because I managed to somehow do the opposite, even though it's apparently impossible. There we go. There's none, and then there's both. Yay, I did it. I'm smart. Okay, our periapsis is too low, so we want to burn prograde here. Okay, we're at 100, and boom, we just got it. That's funny, though. We maintained orbit. We maintained our stability for 10 seconds, even though it was like right away. But hey, we got the orbit, so we're good. They got their stuff. We got paid for, I'm pretty sure, far more than we paid for the satellite, and we've only done one of these. Now we need to get to Moon, and I think we can probably do it on this orbit. Let's go ahead and set it as our target. If we burn like here-ish, actually, no, we won't be able to do it this orbit. Maybe we should try to do it this orbit. If we burn up here, I think this will do it. I wanna reach Moon with the least amount of burnness. See, and I want it to show me my Moon encounter here, but of course it won't. Okay, if I do it here, yeah, see, so we're still going to be too late for, or too early for it. So I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's just going to take a few orbits to get there. This is 460 meters per second, which really isn't that bad of a burn when it comes down to it. But I could do it over here instead. And I think possibly I could just drag this thing around. But see, the Moon will probably, yeah. See, it'll have already passed by the time we get here. But we can always catch it on the next pass, right? And it told me it was a 10-second burn, and it's actually a 50-second burn. That seems completely fair to me. I'm glad the the game was so accurate, considering, you know, I suppose, well, no, it doesn't make any sense because I'm going full speed now and I was going slower speed then. And that's close enough. So now, if here we were to burn prograde, why doesn't that change what happens here? Oh, I guess that's because it hates me and it wants me to lose. Aha, so let's do this trick. Let's put one here and then put one here. Still didn't work. Let's put one here. And then one here. Still doesn't work. Game. It's like, I mean, granted, I'm trying to do stuff that is not exactly the easiest thing in the world. But I would like the game to know what I want to do. Put a marker here for me, and then tell me where Moon will be at that time. How hard is that? How expensive is it gonna be? Now, see, here's the thing: is also we're over 90 degrees over. So if I want to do something like this to get myself in a more moon type orbit, we're talking about that. And that's 886. I'm not willing to make that. I'm not willing to do that much burning, because we're not gonna have to do as much burning at Moon as it seems. I don't know how long it's gonna take to figure this out, and I don't want to do it on air, fiddling with the tools, because I don't have the right tools, because none of the mods have been updated yet. So I'll be back when I have a Moon connection, ideally less than 10 to 50 days into the trip. Okay, I have a burn that'll do it. It doesn't look like it right now, but it will. It's 218 meters per second. It's probably kind of a waste, but we should have plenty of delta V. Now, the reason that I see I'm swinging in closer to Kerbin so that we get to Moon faster. And there's no encounter here, but if I drop a maneuver node right here, boom, there's our Moon encounter. And I don't really care what it looks like right now. But if we focus on it, we're coming in, and then we can tweak it so we come around here and then do this orbit. So that's the burn we're gonna do, and we're just gonna have to assume it's right. We're just gonna have to nail it as close as possible. I have saved a quick save, and I'm gonna report that prediction as a bug, and hopefully we'll get a fix before 1.2 comes out officially. Who knows? And maybe things will be better. I clicked surface mode so that the radial marker wasn't there, so I can see the maneuver node better, because I'm more concerned about hitting the maneuver node than I am about getting the radial marker on the screen, because I need to nail this node as perfectly as I can regardless of what other things tell me. Because all I got is my instruments right now. There we go. My instruments say we have done the burn to the best of our ability. Now we are going to swing around here. I'm going to hit F5 again. We're going to swing around. And eventually, it should... There we go. It predicted the moon encounter. Okay. So now, what the heck do we want to do? We want to... somewhere around here, probably. Burn this way. Which is this way. Yeah, that's not... I don't think that's actually helping all that much. We're gonna hit it at a weird angle no matter what we do. But I think that's a better weird angle than the other weird angle we were doing. I guess we'll hit it right at the apoapsis. Why not? And then when we come in here, we'll grab it here, and then we'll do that. So 90 meters per second, not very bad, and this isn't going to be too bad. Compared to, I mean, we're going to have to slow down at moon anyway, so we'll be able to do this burn and the circularization burn and the slowdown burn and all that all in one big burn. So that'll save us a little bit there. We'll walk the diagonal instead of whatever else you would do instead of doing it in 2 or 3 steps. Looks pretty perfect. Let's see if I need to dump my side fuel tanks here. I've got a tiny, tiny little bit of fuel left in them, so I might as well, because these tanks are full. Every one of these has a tiny little bit of fuel in it, which is fine. Okay, so right around here, we want to have Precise Node installed, so I could use the intuitive maneuver node. But what are you going to do? Okay. We need this to go this way. We need a little bit less retrograde. It's looking pretty good. This will do 90% of it. Oops, we need to go this way. Actually, this will do about 99 to 100% of it. Other way. There we go. A little less on the prograde. And I think we're going to sit it on there because it's just too hard to do it. 742 meters per second. I have no idea how many I have in the tank. If we can't get all 3 contracts, it's not a big deal. We can always launch another simple satellite to do that. But I still think that we have plenty of fuel. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to turn off the Kerbal alarm clock next time I install it. I'm going to turn off the SOI alarm. I might put one that just... is in the alarm list but doesn't pause the game or anything, or doesn't even give me an alarm, just so I know when SOIs are coming up. But I don't think you need to pause the game anymore for SOIs. Okay, this is a 1 minute and 17 second burn, and it's probably accurate. It might even be more than that. Nope, 1 minute and 16 seconds. So we'll go down to, let's say 35. Seems reasonable. Oh, we could probably stage these away, can't we? Very much so. And we can get rid of them here with no fear, because they will eventually... one of them is probably going to crash into the moon. The other one will either get thrown out of the system or eventually crash into the moon, or who knows what. But it's not going to be in a stable orbit around Kerbin is the important thing. That's all I care about with my debris. And I think we just reached the orbit. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Have the mystery goo. Reach the designated... Okay, we have not reached the designated orbit yet. Oh, but that's geosynchronous. Oh, we did. We just did it. Awesome. All we need now is to hit our geosynchronous around Kerbin, which means we're going around this way, so we want to way out here. Burn like nya. What are you telling me? Oh, there we go. Yeah, because I didn't think about it. We're pretty high over moon, so one orbit actually takes a while. So here's the sweet spot. This is when I should be burning. You go back and forth, and where you hit that minimum, that's where you want to burn. And I don't want to burn quite as much as that. So we'll do that right there. And then we'll fix the ascending and descending and all that good stuff later. I should be going back to the Space Center and seeing if we have any contracts to transmit science. Build a new orbital station, haul a kickback, test the LV-909 Terror, test the hammer, test the decoupler, explore Kerbin. Crew that have been cooped up for too long start muttering about space krakens. Docking on or around Kerbin is a stepping stone. Well, let's go ahead and accept that. Science data from the surface of the moon, not quite yet. We got another satellite, but we can't take this contract and do it with the current satellite, so I don't think we're going to bother. And we don't have a spider on here, so I think we can safely take this surface data from the moon. I mean, we're going to be doing it, right? But the rest of these are kind of garbage. Build an orbital station around Kerbin. We have to dock 2 ships anyway. Has an antenna, a docking port, and can generate power. 5 Kerbals. Yeah, we'll do that next time. At least we know what we're going to be doing next episode. Okay, let's head back out into space here. Okay, the boron one. We have entered orbit. This is the first time we've ever orbited moon. That doesn't seem reasonable. I guess we just did the flyby. Eventually we're gonna have to transmit this data, but he does have a battery, so he can transmit data. So maybe we should do it now. I mean, it will get most of the data back. Maybe we should just do it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, how's our electric charge doing? It is perfect. So let's go ahead and do this one. Because the people who put us here, they actually, that's why they wanted that science data, I guess, is to do that. Oh, no data. Okay, there we go. We're back. That's another setting I need to set. Nav ball up. Can I do that from here? Nav ball available in map mode at all times. Where's that setting? I guess we have to go to the main settings window for that. Okay. Our estimated burn is not applicable, but it's probably pretty short. I'm going to say 10 seconds, maybe. Oh, way less than 10 seconds. 3 seconds. Looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to swing it around, and then we're going to come out here and right... Oh, actually, that's our periapsis and apoapsis. We need to leave Moon's sphere of influence before we can see what our ascending and descending node are on this guy. There they are. So here's our ascending and descending node, and we always want to do it at the farthest away one, which is this one here. Follow this line, get right here. It's pretty close. And that's the ascending, so we want to burn south, and we actually want to burn south this time. Somewhere around there. And that's still touching, but we could actually burn prograde just a little bit. Or maybe we want to burn radial. Yeah, we want to burn radial and not prograde. Here's where I wish I had precise node, but we'll just leave it at that. It's not going to change the orbit that much. Whoa, okay. Not going to be that big of a stickler. We can 1 degree. We can actually do it here, and then we can fix it right here when we fix this. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna do my radial burn now. We need to burn radial. If we burn inward, that'll push our orbit closer. Yeah, so we want to burn radial inward, which is the opposite of what this one is. There we go. That's perfect right there. And our descending node is now 0 somehow. So all we got to do is bring this guy down. Pretty much perfect there. So 228 meters per second, and I'm sure we have the fuel in the tanks here. Oh yeah, easily. And then we might even get a contract later to move this guy, and I will happily do those. Those are easy contracts. I mean, these aren't exactly not easy, but they're a little more time consuming, and you don't get science for them. You just get, all you get is money, and we don't really need money. The main reason I took these is just to have something to do, so I didn't have to just time warp until more contracts came up. And I'm not saying I won't do more later. especially if I need the money. But we could possibly start turning money into science too right now, if I feel like it. And of course, the predictor was wrong. Why would I have even thought that that predictor would be right? I'm so used to better burn time being correct. There we go. And ideally, we are within... Build a new station. Oh, that's the new... That's that one. Geosynchronous orbit. Boom. Done. Science data from the surface of the moon. Explore Kerbin. We need to dock 2 vessels. We need to test this airstream eventually. And we need to do our station. So that's next time. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Kind of a nothing episode because all we did was make money. Nothing wrong with making money, of course, but we didn't really need money. But let's check mission control before we sign off here. Science data from space around the moon. That would have been nice to have a second ago. Plant a flag on the moon. Sure, we'll do that eventually. Satellite testing. Rescue someone. No. Actually, you know what? Rescuing isn't a bad idea now. Because we're going to be sending up something that can take 5 people. And then we can just send it up with a probe core even, and then rescue somebody. But honestly, do I really feel like rescuing someone? It's just money. Again, we don't need money. Test the parachute. This is perfect. I'll take those all day because they're always right. We could even ferry tourists up pretty much for free when we construct our space station, because we're not really constructing a space station. I'm just doing this to do this. So this is probably not a bad idea, although they want to fly by the moon, so never mind. Stack decoupler, and this is suborbital, which means it's basically free money. We have our 7 contracts, so we're not going to the moon next episode, but we have the money. Do I want to upgrade mission control right now? It's like 20% of our budget. Yeah, let's upgrade it now so we can take this contract. There you go. So that's what we're doing next time. We're doing about half of these next time. We are going to launch Kerbin National Space Station Part 1. We are going to launch it in 2 pieces, and we're going to dock those 2 pieces in orbit. I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, talk at you later.